Welcome to Arts Beyond Museums. I'm Khan and I'm your curator for this series. Now, Singapore, small. Some call us the little red dots, but it's on these red dots that we find some of the finest things. For instance, Feng Shui art. You can find Master Yun's Feng Shui paintings and Feng Shui calligraphy here in Singapore. Today, Arts Beyond Museum, we are going to explore little black dots. To be exact, little black pearls. Super valuable stuff of kings and royalties and super worthy to be enjoying it together with Laurent-Perrier champagne and Master Yun's Feng Shui art. Today, Arts Beyond Museums, we are going to the Beluga Club, house of true Persian caviar, most luxurious, most prestigious and super exclusive. Let's go! Well, of course, we are pairing again with something most prestigious, most royal. I mean, what do you expect of Art Beyond Museum, right? I'm sure you're expecting this. And this has definitely got to do with how Master Yun is as a person, as an artist. Now, I'm sure you know Master Yun, he's a 6th generation Feng Shui master in the family. All these years, his insistence on quality, on standards, on grandness led him and led China's CCTV to document his achievements and contribution to Feng Shui and Feng Shui arts in 2019 and 2020. Now, probably that's also why Master Yun is the only artist throughout time that has exhibited on the Great Wall of China. Now, sometimes when we get too familiar with Master Yun's art, we tend to forget about the intricacies. This painting and Master Yun's art, like the Iranian caviar that we are going to enjoy at this Beluga Club. In the past, you wouldn't be able to have the chance to get close to it. Now, you have the chance to own it. Let's take a look at the familiar ingredients that we are talking about. Now, for sure, we know the gold and silver. We've talked about it many times. Silver used to be the currency of ancient China, and there was a period of time that Europe lost half of its silver to China for their fascination with silk, porcelain, and tea. But let me talk about the gold. In the past, commoners cannot have access to gold. Gold was reserved entirely for the imperial family. But today in Master Yun's painting, you can have a plenty of gold. In fact, a few kinds of gold, 24K, 18K gold. This is something that you will never be able to have access in the past. By the way, this painting I have here is significant. This is the exact piece that went up the Great Wall of China. A life graciously spurting flames of glory. Look at it with the gold and silver and such red in the background. You can really feel that this peacock is coming to life. Another thing, this painting is painted on silk as well. In the past, not too easy for everyone to actually own it. Now, let's bring this art of gold to enjoy with the black gold of the world, Iranian caviar. I have with me here Mr. Jamin, founder of the very exclusive Beluga Club. Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you for coming down. Let me start by just explaining what is actually caviar.
Right.
And where it comes from. A tiny story about it and a history that, caviar is actually referring to sturgeon roes,
Yes.
which has been salted. It's very simple. That's the only ingredients. And first it has been discovered by Azeris, Persians, whereby they're living by the Kura River, former Persian Empire, Azerbaijan. It comes from Asipensodai and Asipenser families. So these people find out that they were the first who tasted it. And they find out that there are lots of medicational and power and energy within these eggs.
Yes.
And they name it caviar. That's the original name of the caviar, yes. Caviar in our translation means the cake of power.
The cake of power.
Yes.
Right.
Or the cake of strength.
Right.
So this was because that during those times there were lots of tribal wars, attacks here and there. So they find out that when they consume these eggs, within a very short period of time, they're able to retrieve back the energy that they lost.
Oh.
And even they use these eggs to cure and bandage the wounds.
Okay.
And they could see that how fast it can be cured.
Right.
And today we are facing a little bit of difficulties
Okay.
on getting the caviars, and people ask why a true caviar.
True
we are referring
caviar.
a true caviar. Why is it so expensive?
Yes.
But there are a variety of reasons. Number one could be the scarcity and due to overfishing and pollutions of the sea.
Right.
And number two is it's a very expensive process to produce these eggs, to cure it. And number three is they are very perishable items.
Yes.
But the main reason is that it goes back to the age and the size of the sturgeons. This delicacy first time came into into the monarch lives by Aristotle, the scholars in Roman empires.
Yes.
In 4th BC.
Right.
And he introduced this delicacy, as they describe it, as a roe of sturgeons, caviar, and brought it into the family of monarchs. That
Right.
during the history, this food was served only to queens, princes, kings, monarch family, Caesars of Russians.
So this caviar is really stuff of royalties and kings.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. 100%. And the reason is that apart from the luxury point of view, there are so much into these eggs, health benefits. It's a very prosperity food.
I like that, yeah.
It is. It is said that it can cure any disease. It can prolong life. It can, because the fish itself, they survive about 260 million years.
Oh.
Yeah, and they haven't evolved yet. They are the same things that used to hang out with dinosaurs, and today they are still here. When it comes to Russians, Caesar Nicholas II was the one who has been collecting 11 tons of caviar per year from the fishermen as a tax.
As tax?
As a tax.
Caviar,
instead of a coin.
It's pretty much golden.
It is.
It's a black gold.
It's
That's
a
why I
black
call
gold.
it.
You're right. That's
okay,
right.
11 tons, that's a lot.
That's a lot for 1 year.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you finish 11 tons of caviar?
For the whole imperial Russia family, probably, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's really the stuff of kings.
Yes. Let's talk about 3 top main sturgeons that are native to Caspian Sea.
Right.
And that's what we are specialized at, which is the Beluga caviar, Osetra caviar, and Sevruga caviar.
And they're all sturgeons, but different kinds of
They
sturgeons.
are all sturgeons from Asipensodai family.
Right.
But they all have different characteristics. Following by beluga to be the largest, to be the biggest and the heaviest sturgeon existed.
Yes.
Then it will be the Osetra caviar, and following by Sevruga caviar.
Right.
We can't say which one is better, which one is not. It's just really the preference of the palates and people who decide what they like to eat.
But top 3. Yeah.
But the toppest for now until today is the beluga caviar,
Beluga.
which is our specialty here.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah. For beluga sturgeons, which the scientific name is Huso Huso, it's taking about 16 to 20 years for the first maturity.
And then there
It's a
will be
long
eggs.
time.
Yeah. Oh.
Then they can really deliver precious black pearls or black golds that we are having in front of us. And I would like to open it for you, and you can have a look and see what are the differences from
Sure.
caviar to caviar. How we serve our caviar is inside a little jardine with a bit of ice inside.
Nice. It's to be served cold, right?
Would you like to choose a key or a spoon? That's the key to the heart of the Beluga Club.
Oh my God.
So you just hold the tin and just open it. You can keep this.
Oh,
That's
okay.
for you.
Yay.
So once you open it, still lay it back on the bed of ice. So what you have to look in here, I mean, caviar consists of 3 parts. The look, the nose, and the palate.
Right.
That's all about it. Number 1 is the color of the caviar.
Right.
We don't have black caviar in Beluga Club, or we don't consider the black caviar very high grade caviar.
Yes. As we can see, actually, it's grayish.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's a spectrum of the color of gray between single zero to be the darkest, 00 to be slightly lighter, and 000. So we're talking about a 00 here. We have something higher than that, but it's not the season yet, but this is considered a very, very luxury caviar. Yeah. Would you like to try some?
Okay, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a high-grade mother of pearl spoon that it's the best and the most suitable for using the caviar, because the nature of the mother of pearl is already cold. So when you want to cut it up, even you touch it, it's cold.
Yeah.
Although it was not on the ice,
It's not nice.
but
Yeah.
still feeling cold. So
No
this
wonder,
is something you should know about the real mother of pearl spoons. They are always cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
The real ones. Yeah.
Yeah. I see a lot of people scrub the caviar.
Scraping,
This.
yeah. No.
I don't recommend. I mean, you can enjoy the tin however you wish, but to us, we always go down into the tin
Okay.
and we bring it up. So you have the whole
Dig
lump
it
sum.
gently, huh?
Dig it gently.
Okay.
Don't break the eggs.
Okay.
Make your spoon clean and nice. And you have it here. Can I have your hand? Or would you
My
like
hand?
it by the...
You can use your hand.
You can use your hand. There are a few reasons why they use hand. I'll give it to you
Okay.
first. And have you had tequila? Maybe you hold your hand for me this way. They're ready. You put the salt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just leave it here.
Oh.
That's the most delicate part of your skin. So you need to be able to get the temperature. Feel a little bit cold.
Yeah,
That
it
means
does.
the caviar has been kept at the right temperature.
Yes.
And the second reason is that your temperature of the body is just nice to open up the oil of the caviar. So when you eat it, you don't feel that cold or too warm. So that's the very right temperature.
You want it cold at the same time. You want to open up a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the third reason is that we are facing COVID situation, so we cannot use the same spoon together.
Okay. Oh, every single pearl
It is distinguished.
is very distinguished. It doesn't feel like it's mushed together.
Yep.
The taste, it expands and explodes after a while. Gently, nonetheless.
Yeah. And while you were eating it, you didn't smell anything bad on your
Yeah,
nose.
no.
So you did the first part, which is smelling the caviar. When you're going to eat it, if it's bad, you will definitely know it.
Oh,
So the third part, which is your palate,
yeah.
happens after you swallow the caviar. Start rubbing your tongue to the palate and try to extract the flavors from back of your tongue. You must be able to taste nutty flavors,
Yeah.
creamy,
Creamy, yeah.
maybe a bit of a smoked almond. This is the specification of the beluga.
Precious gift. I also brought a gift
Thank you very
for
much.
you,
I
AJ.
appreciate it. Thank you.
I understand, please correct me if I'm wrong, that great caviar can go with great champagne.
Absolutely.
So I have with me here Laurent-Perrier champagne. Usually in my other episodes, as they will know, that I will just show the La Cuvée,
Okay.
their entry-level champagne. But today I brought something that's a bit different. It's the Demi-Sec, it's the Harmony.
Nice.
I like the name
Beautiful name.
because I think that, enjoying this,
Harmony
it
together.
really feels the entire harmony. Demi-Sec, Harmony.
One of my favorites.
AJ, this is the gift. Would you like to
you
do the
very much.
honors?
Sure, thank you. That's a very nice gift. Allow me to open it for us.
Please.
Sure. Smells very nice.
Yeah,
Mm.
it does.
Caviar is the first spoon when you eat it. It's to arouse the curiosity. That
Right.
What am I eating?
Yes.
The second one is your palate and your tongue are starting to familiarize themselves with the flavors.
I see.
Number 3, number 4, and number 5 is the ultimate joy.
Oh,
So that's how it should be. So I suggest we have a sip of champagne together. Thank you for the nice gift. Cheers.
thank you. It's really very fine, and every single piece is very
It is.
distinctive.
Thank you, but we really work hard to get all these eggs to this class and to this quality, meaning that we use only fresh fish
Yeah.
to feed our sturgeon with, and we are very sustainable. We try to not to use all those antibiotics or ractopamine growth foods for our sturgeons. Now tell me, how do you feel?
Oh.
Enhancing of the flavor?
Yeah, it
It's
really
coming
does.
out,
It really,
right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when when it goes to the back, it's
Yep.
even more.
Yep, you're right.
You can feel it
And a
even more
good caviar
intensely.
should not fall down when you tilt the spoon. It should
Oh.
come down slowly. If the caviar comes down very fast, means there's a lot of preservative and there's a lot of juice and residue into it. It
I
must
see.
sit gently and nicely on your hand.
Amazing. Yeah. A 00.
That's right.
Iranian caviar, beluga as well.
Yep.
Usually it goes by the gram.
By grams, yes, by grams, and by kilos, depending on
How much you want, or by tons if you're a czar. Yeah.
Yeah, but if I got your question right, you mean that what are the smallest size up to what is the biggest size and all that. So the small size start from 10 gram, 30 gram, 50 gram, 125 grams, 250 grams, 1 kilo, and there is a OT, meaning original teens, 1.7.8 or 1.8 kilo.
Right.
Big jars.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind me asking, a grade like this, which is fantastic, per gram, how much you might be going for?
Well, the market price in every country is different.
Of
But
course.
in Singapore, one thing you should know is that this caviar from the fish sturgeon's belly to the table here, it takes only 2 weeks.
Oh,
So you get it as fresh as it can.
yes.
Probably next week, if you ask me, I might not have this available because we only believe that fresh caviar can taste the true caviar.
Yes,
And for Singapore price, we are selling this as $12 per gram.
per gram.
That's right.
So if we are looking at about like 100-gram tin,
About 1,200.
1,002. Yeah, 1,002, and it's super seasonal, super fresh.
Yeah. All the fine foods and organic foods are disappearing from our society.
Right.
But this farm is a very old farm, and we try to keep everything according to the traditions to be able, because caviar is a Persian delicacy,
Yes.
and we try to keep it as pure, as clean as it is, to offer the world what is the real Persian delicacy.
The Beluga Club is a very exclusive club. So how do they actually get their hands on the caviar? What should they do?
Well, nowadays the social media made everything much easier.
Yes.
But when we established in 2015, it was just the word of mouth, and based on our friends community that they always enjoy the fine foods. They try the caviar and they just they did speak about it. And
Yes.
now we have all our VIP clients that they are very happy with the products. Mostly referral we will accept, and I mean now with social media, as I say, it's much easier. So people can find out about us, and we are happy to serve them the best caviar from Iran.
But for sure they would, the Beluga Club there's no walk-in. You
There's
don't,
no
walk in. You don't walk in. Yeah, it's a very exclusive place. I'm glad we have the opportunity to film over here and share this amazing caviar.
That's very nice of you. Thank you. I'm
Thank
very
you.
happy to have you here. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, AJ.
Cheers.
The taste is still strong in my mouth. It's amazing and going very well with the Laurent-Perrier champagne. Who knew that one box of small, tiny black pearls have so much knowledge and so much intricacies in it? Just like Master Yun's calligraphy and feng shui art. We're looking at some familiar elements again. We talked about the gold and silver and how gold actually belonged to the imperial family in the past. Another familiar ingredient that we're looking at, the red circles and the stem, they are of vermilion, or we call 朱砂. Now, the more we see it, sometimes we take it for granted, but actually in the past, this vermilion, it's very hard to come by, and Master Yun only uses the fine grade vermilion, pure grade. So it's not mixed, it's not hybrid, and so on. Now, one thing to take note is that Master Yun grinds his vermilion on what we call the white inkstone, or the white tuan inkstone. A bit like what AJ has shared with us, that only the sturgeon fish from the Caspian Sea can be called as caviar. There are a lot of people who are doing white inkstone nowadays. They can have it as marble or any other material. If it's white, they call it white tuan inkstone, and that's wrong. The inkstone that Master Yun used is from the Tuan Sea River, the tough rock TUFF, and this inkstone in the past can only be used by the emperor himself. So once again, we are looking at a piece of feng shui art, feng shui calligraphy that has ingredients, stuff that is only for kings and royalties. But now you have the chance to own it. This piece we have here is called 百鹤贺寿, 100 cranes, giving respect and congratulating your longevity. Things that what AJ is doing, things that what Master Yun they are doing, they are really preserving cultures for generations and generations to come. And that's something that is really about longevity and strength that is worthy of 100 cranes. And even in the most familiar of elements is also the stuff of kings. Let's talk about the black ink that Master Yun uses. Now the black ink, it's pine soot ink. First, it's natural and it's not that simple. The pine soot ink that Master Yun uses is at least 50 years old. It's an old ink. Now this, in the past, is also the stuff of kings. And just like the red ink, the vermilion that we talked about are grind on the tuan, white ink stone, the black ink is grind on the best quality of the tuan, black ink stone. Now, these are the ones that you can't and you might not even find in Beijing. This is what Master Yun is using when he's painting, when he's writing this calligraphy. This we have here is called Yunlong Huanghe. It's going for 50,868, and by now you will know that the gold and silver, extraordinary. The process of creating it, difficult, and even the black ink, it takes a lot of effort and a lot of materials to come together to present to you this calligraphy that's worthy of kings and queens, just like the Iranian caviar that we are talking about today, just like the caviar at the Beluga Club. Cheers. The Art Beyond Museums series and Master Yun Longzi's Feng Shui art are proud to be sponsored by Laurent-Perrier. For 200 over years, Laurent-Perrier has not worked with any other artist before. When you purchase a piece of Feng Shui art exhibited in this Art Beyond Museums series, you will also be getting a complimentary set of 5 different specially selected cuvées of Laurent-Perrier champagne: the La Cuvée, the Cuvée Rosé, Brut Millésimé, Demi-Sec Harmony, and the Cuvée Grand Siècle, so that you can enjoy the taste of elegance while basking in the prosperity of Master Yun's Feng Shui paintings and calligraphies. Cheers to prosperity and elegance.